Friends, welcome to this new topic, new concept. In fact, it's a part of that topic, time value of money. The concept here is that continuous compounding of interest. Earlier, we had discussed the concept of simple interest and compounding interest, and also effective rate of interest. Hope you have remembered. Very quickly, we will be recapitulating that thing. Then we'll be learning the concept of continuous compounding of interest. The concept of continuous compounding of interest means interest is compounded at every, you can say, at every instant. Continuously it is getting compounded, and we would like to find out what will the future value in that kind of situation. As you already know, if we increase the frequency, the future value will be also increasing. Future value will be more. For example, let us say you are investing rupees 100 today. If you compute it, if you let us say compound it on annual basis, you will be getting a future value. Is it not? But instead of annual basis, if you compound it on half yearly basis, the future value will be more. If you compound it on quarterly basis, future value will be further more. If you compound it on monthly basis, future value will be much more. If you compound it on daily basis, it will be again much more. You can compound it on hourly basis, second, let's say, or per minute basis. You can compound it on every second, in every fraction of second, in every nanosecond, microsecond, you can compound it. So in that situation, what will the value? We'll learn how to compute that. Okay. Now I'm going to share the screen with you. Yeah. When you started the topic time value of money, at that time we have learned that there is a concept called simple interest, with which all of us are familiar. Here, interest is calculated always on the original principal amount. Okay. And we also know the concept of compounded interest or compounding interest. Here, what happens? Interest gets added to the original principal on periodic basis, and interest is calculated every time on the new principal. So here interest calculation is made on the original principal plus all previously earned interest. So there is a formula to compute future value under compounding interest. There is a formula to compute future value under simple interest. And at that time also we have learned what is the concept of effective rate of interest. Effective rate of interest is the interest, or you can say it is the uh, actual equivalent of annual rate of interest when interest is credited more than once in a year. Suppose interest is credited on monthly basis, then what will be the effective rate of interest on annual basis? That is what we calculate. Okay, there is a formula to calculate effective rate of interest. Okay, are you seeing all these formulas? Are you finding these
Yes,
formulas here? Yeah. So this thing we'll be able to understand with the help of some example. Simple rate of interest, practically you do not know in example, you already know. Suppose you are investing 4,000 rupees and at 8% for 4 years. Simply you can calculate 4,000 rupees into 8% for 4 years. You can find out interest is 1,280 and the future value will be 4,000 plus 1,280. How much it will be? How much will be the future value? If 4,000 rupees is invested at 8% simple interest for 4 years.
1,100, 200,
1208.
Yeah, 5,280. Is it done? Interest will be 1,280 plus principal is 4,000. So 5,280 will be the future value if it is a simple interest. Okay. Compounding interest, you know the formula is the amount will be calculated like this. The amount is equal to principal multiplied with 1 plus rate of interest to the power n means the period. Okay. So here if let us say we are compounding that same interest on annual basis. Same 4,000 rupees you are investing at 8%. For first year interest will be 320 rupees. At the end of the first year, the new principal will be 4,320. Okay. Second year interest will be calculated on this 4,320. Again 8%. Second year interest will be 345.6. Okay. At the end of second year, the principal value will be 4,665.6 because this 4,320 plus this interest will be added. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In third year, interest will be calculated on this new principal of 4,665.6. Now interest comes 373.24. Okay. And third year end, what will the principal amount?
5038.848.
5038. And the fourth year interest will be calculated on this amount, and the interest amount will be 403. You see, annual interest is increasing from 320 to 345, then 373, then 403. Okay, so like this, the maturity value will be 5,441.9. Okay, so total interest earned is total interest, how much is earned, you can calculate, right? So this comes to 1,444, 1,441.95 is the total interest which is. This is more than the interest of 1,280, which is calculated under simple interest, isn't it? So 161.96 extra interest is computed here when we are compounding it on annual basis. Okay, so now you have understood that compounding interest yields better result. Interest is more when you compound it at more frequent. If you compound it on half yearly basis, then interest will be further more. If you compound it on monthly basis, then interest will further increase. Is it not? So this is the concept of compounding of interest. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right.
Yes, sir.
Now, then the concept comes. What is this effective interest rate? Okay, or EIR. EIR is the actual equivalent annual rate of interest when interest is credited more than once in a year. Suppose interest is credited on a yearly basis, quarterly basis, monthly basis. We need to find out what is the actual equivalent of annual rate so that it can be compared. Right. So in fact, it is the interest rate on loan or any financial product which is restated. That means whatever interest is told to us, we want to restate it. We need to convert it into an annual equivalent. Then only it can be compared with other similar kind of products or similar kind of loan instruments. Okay, how to calculate it? So this is the formula for this effective rate of interest. Effective rate of interest is equal to 1 plus interest divided by frequency to the power frequency minus 1. I will show you with the help of uh, an Excel sheet. Then it will be better for you to understand. Just give me a moment. Uh, yeah. So one more thing at this stage we need to learn. There is one more concept which is called as the annual percentage rate. Sometimes people think that APR is same as effective rate of interest, IER, but they're different. APR is different, and this effective rate of interest is again different. Okay, the point of difference is that when you calculate effective rate of interest, generally we do not incorporate one-time charges. Sometimes when you go for a loan product, the banker they levy some one-time charges, okay, processing fee, etc. They are not included when you calculate effective rate of interest. But when you calculate annual percentage of interest, we take those amounts into consideration. And the effective rate of interest is calculated for comparison, and you can say as a tool under financial management. It is not defined by any legal or regulatory authorities, but the APR in some jurisdiction, in some laws, it has been defined what is the meaning of APR. That is the difference between APR and effective rate of interest. Now we are going to learn the concept of effective rate of interest. I'm going to share an Excel file with you. Just give me a moment. I'll be showing you what is effective rate of interest. Yeah. Are you able to see an Excel file?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now you see what is simple interest. You already know. Take an example. Suppose principal is how much? 1 lakh. Rate of interest is 10%. And for 1 year, interest will be how much? 10,000 rupees. The future value will be 1,000 and 1 lakh and 10,000. Okay,
1 lakh 10.
10,000 rupees if it is invested for 1 year. So that's we are giving in this formula here that future value n means at the end of period is equal to principal plus simple interest. Okay, this is the formula you see. Principal plus simple interest. How simple interest is calculated? It is calculated unless or always on the original principal. Okay, if you see simple interest is principal amount into interest into number of years. Okay, if I will make it for 2 years, then interest amount will be 20,000. Is it not? The future value will be 1,20,000. If you make it for 3 years, then it will be 1,30,000 rupees. So simple. Is it not? If it is for 1 year, it is 1,10,000 rupees. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Now, let us say same thing what we'll do. We'll do it on quarterly compounding. Right? Quarterly compounding means you see principal amount is 1 lakh rupees. Rate of interest is 10% per annum. Okay. And quarterly means 0.25 years. What will the interest? Now interest will be 1 lakh rupees into 10% into 0.25 years. So how much is the interest?
2,500.
At the end of the quarter, the principal amount will be 1,02,500. Okay. And the next quarter beginning,
Yes, sir.
next quarter beginning, the same will be considered as principal. Again, 10% interest for 0.25 years. So it comes to 2,563. Okay. The maturity value is 5,006. Quarter 3, this is our opening balance. And interest is 2,627. And the closing balance or the maturity value is 1,07,689. Quarter 4, this is the opening balance. And the final maturity value is how much? 1,10,381. Understood this?
Yes, sir.
Total interest is 10,381. Okay, so we have calculated like this quarter by quarter. If you see, there is extra interest of 381.29 because earlier interest was only 10,000. Now it is 10,381. This extra profit or extra interest is earned when we compounded it on quarterly basis. Okay, and you see this is the present value 1 lakh and this is the future value 1,10,381. Directly you can move from present value to future value by applying this formula. You know this in your school days, that is amount is equal to principal into 1 plus r to the power n. The same formula is applied here. You see principal into 1 plus r. Okay, to the power n. Here r is 25% for the quarter. Sorry, 0.25% for the quarter. Okay, quarterly interest rate is calculated. You see this formula bar 1 lakh into 0.025 to the power 4. 4 is 4 quarter and this 0.025 stands for 10% divided by 4. Quarterly interest is 0.25%. So accordingly, future value can be directly computed. Did you understand?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now you see this interest rate. This interest rate is you have computed. Now question comes, what is effective rate? Effective rate is that you see here interest is credited more than once in a year. Interest is credited 4 times. What is the annual equivalent of this? That means this much of interest. If this is the interest I'm getting, what is the annual equivalent of this? So on 1 lakh rupees, I'm getting 10,381. So annually, if you convert it, the rate is 10.38%. Okay, how will compute it? 10,381 divided by 1 lakh rupees. If we convert it to percentage, it will come to 10.38%. So you can say it is compounded on quarterly basis, and quarterly compounding rate of interest is 2.5%, but effective rate of interest is 10.38%. Understood what is the meaning of effective rate of interest? Okay.
Sir, that means the interest, compounding interest divided by the basic principal.
Yes. Here you see, since it is only 4 quarters, you could compound it at step by step. Then you can finally find it out what is the future value, what is the effective rate of interest. Okay, and there is a formula to calculate this effective rate of interest. The formula which I had shown you in the slide, it is again appearing here. That is E equal to 1 plus interest divided by frequency to the power frequency minus 1. Here you see the question is solved by applying the formula. You see it. What is here written? 1 plus interest. Interest is how much? 10%. 10% means you see 0.1. Are you able to see it in the formula bar?
Yes, sir.
Divided by 4. 4 is the frequency. Suppose it is monthly, so I'll divide it by 12. Is it not? Suppose it is daily compounding, I will divide it by 365. Okay.
Yes.
Are you getting? So divided
Yes,
by
sir.
frequency to the power frequency. Frequency here it is 4 minus 1. Is how much it is coming? 10.38%.
10.38.
10.38%. Okay. Otherwise, also if you are calculating 10,381 divided by 1 lakh rupees, we are getting 10.38%. Here I have applied the formula. Let us compound it on daily basis. Let us find out what is effective rate of it. Can you calculate? Can you calculate? You see here I am doing it on daily basis. Okay. You see what I am doing? 1 plus, right? E is equal to 1 plus interest. What is the interest?
10%.
10%. It's okay.
0.1.
I'm computing it daily basis. That means frequency is how much?
365.
365. To the power frequency is how much? 365. Okay, minus 1. If I calculate it, you see interest is increased or not? 10.52.
Yes, sir.
Interest is increased. So you can say I compounded it at 10% on daily basis, but my effective rate of interest is 10.52. Are you getting the concept of effective rate of interest?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So if I increase the frequency, the effective rate will be more.
Yes, sir.
Right. So instead of daily basis, I can do it on a yearly basis. Sorry, I can do it on hourly basis.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you will find that rate of interest will be increasing. Simple interest is 10%. Okay. Compounding interest on 10% on quarterly basis. You find out if you quarterly compounding rate, effective rate is 10.38. Monthly effective rate is 10.52. Okay. Fine. So when many financial products, let us say in loan products specifically, the different kind of loan providers offers you different rate. They'll be telling you the interest rate is this much, compounded at this frequency. So in that situation, you need to calculate what is the effective rate of interest. Because one banker is telling you, let us say 10.38%, another banker is telling you 10.52%. You may feel this is cheaper. Okay, but what is cheaper? Which is cheaper? If both are effective rate of interest, then definitely this is cheaper. But if they're not effective rate of interest, one is compounding at a different time intervals, another banker is compounding at a different frequency. Then we need to compute what is the effective rate of interest, then only it will be compared. Did you understand this? And this concept
Yes,
is important for us to understand the time value of money related thing. Now, friends, now we will be understanding one more concept. That is the concept of continuous compounding. That means almost in every instant interest is getting compounded, whatever the future value. Just a minute, I am going to share the screen with you. This is the concept of just a minute. Continuous compounding of interest. Okay. Here what happened? When interest is getting compounded at every instant, then we have one more formula to find out the future value. Here, the future value will be computed by using this formula. A is equal to P E to the power R. Here, P stands for principal amount, R stands for rate of interest, T is the number of years or period, A is the annual time period. A is the amount. A is the amount. That means the maturity value. Okay. Then what is this E? Okay, E stands for a Napier number, the value of which is approximately 2.7183. So in the place of E, we'll be taking it 2.7183. Okay. On that basis, let us calculate the value. Here is a question for you. Question is an amount of 2,340 rupees is deposited in the bank, paying an annual interest rate of 3.1% compounded continuously. Find the balance after 3 years. Okay, it is continuously compounded. Every second it is getting compounded. So what we will do? We will be using this formula. Amount is equal to amount with the maturity value is equal to P into R to the power RT. P is equal to 2,340. R is equal to 3.1%, that is 0.031. Time period is 3 years. And what is the value of E? E is a mathematical constant. We'll take
2.7.
2.7183. Okay, so this thing you have to remember. So if you apply this formula, we'll be able to calculate. Okay, how I am doing it? P is equal to 2,340 rupees. R is equal to rate of interest, already you have computed, 0.031. E is equal to, this is a constant figure, 2.7183. T is equal to 3. So first we'll calculate what is R into T. Okay, R into T, so it comes to 0.093. Then we have to calculate future value, PE into R into T. If you calculate this by using Excel, the value comes to 2,560. I'll show you in Excel file. Okay, so you see this is the formula how it is calculated. P, okay, multiplied with E, what is that is P is 2340 multiplied with 2.7183 to the power 0.93. This is the power symbol. In Excel we use this symbol, to the power RT, and value comes like this. Okay, but how to calculate to the power 0.93? If you are having a scientific calculator, you can also try this thing. So let us see. Let us say I'm showing you the calculator. Are you able to see calculator on the screen? Yes or no?
No, sir, only Excel sheet.
Only Excel sheet you are seeing. Screen is not visible to you, right? You have remembered these figures? Wait a minute, I'll show you. Are you seeing calculator now?
Yes, sir.
Scientific calculator. You see, in your computer, you can get various kinds of calculator. Since we calculate x to the power y, we need a scientific calculator for this. Now you see, I will typing. So I want this formula. Formula is what? P e to the power rt. P you have already taken. You already know what is the P. If you recall, 2340, right?
2340. Yes, sir.
40. Okay, so 2340 into E. So into multiplied with E. E is how much?
2.7183.
2.7183. Okay, right. So
Yes,
what is
sir.
the figure you are getting? This much. Then to the power, I will go to x square. If you multiply it, sorry. This will not help us. Just a minute. Let me
X to the
cancel.
power y, sir. X to the power y.
Now this x to the power y is there. No. Just a minute. Let me cancel it for the time being. Yeah. So once again, what I'm doing it. So 2300 340. Sorry. 340. No. 2340.
Sir,
2340. Yeah.
excuse me, sir.
Tell me.
Sir, first we have to calculate P e to the power r into t. Then after we have to multiply P with it.
Yeah. So let
First
us
we have to
see.
calculate.
Let us see. It will be possible, I think, directly. So 2340 into 2.7183. Okay, let us set to the power here. Some calculators you can find x to the power y. So to the power, how much r into t? This comes to 0.093, right?
93. Yes, sir.
Now if you see the result,
Yes,
it is coming 2568. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
So you see, this is how you can calculate future value. Understood? But you need this function x to the power y. Okay, so that you can calculate this thing, future value, when it is continuously getting. Did you understand this?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, will this type of question be in exam?
You see, just a minute. Sinking fund is there in your syllabus. The concept of present value and future value is also there in the syllabus. This process of continuous compounding, it is expected that you should know. If at all this question will be asked, these factors will be given to you. So it will not be very difficult for you to compute. If you are having some idea, factors are already will be there in the question. So you have to compute. That's all. Okay.
Okay.
But you need to understand this concept so that you will be having the confidence to compute it, and you will be able to understand the application of this thing. When this is to be applied, you'll be able to know that. Okay. So friends, by now, or you can say with this, we have completed all the concepts which are associated with the time value of money, present value, future value, and various kinds of cash flow pattern, single sum, annuity, perpetuity, uneven cash flow. Then how to convert and any other kind of annuity to a regular annuity. That concept also we have seen. We have also seen the concept of sinking fund, and we have also seen the concept of continuous compounding. Okay, so you can say fairly we have covered the concept of time value of money. With this, we'll be able to address the other chapters. It will be easier for us to apply these principles when you are doing this capital structure decisions. When you're taking capital structure decisions, we're applying the formulas of capital structure, cost of capital calculation, etc. And also, while you're taking investment decisions and dividend decisions, also all these concepts will be relevant for us. Okay, you have any query up to this? Okay, thank you for this thing. For this chapter, we are closing.